Hey guys, this is Stevo, your favorite co-host with the most of horrors of the universe entertainment, and welcome to another rendition of
Slasher Cinema.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I really appreciate it. I know it's been the longest time I've actually done an episode since we've totally been dead with the whole cast, but today I do not have the whole cast with me. It's just me, yours, and murder, just Stevo Slasher Cinema. I just said that. You see, this is why I kind of need my crew. I mean, it's kind of hard to do this by myself because, it gets more fun when I have dumbass right here, and dumbasses right behind me. But you know what? Hey, we all have our lives. We got to take care of our own responsibilities, work, and blah, 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 blah. So, like I said, guys, today's episode is Jordan Peele's Get Out. There's no better example of this than Get Out, a truly surprising film by the first-time writer-director Jordan Peele, better known as one half of the comedy duo Key and Peele. Jordan Peele isn't a name normally associated with horror suspense films, which makes his effort of all more impressive. Get Out feels like the work of a very experienced craftsman who has been seen lots of classic horror movies and truly wants to pay homage to those savagely copying and ripping them off. No offense to everyone out there. I mean, granted, there hasn't been any good original horror films out there, but keep trying. If you've seen the trailer, you know the basic meet the parents, Stepford wives, mashup storyline. White girl Rose, played by Allison Williams, brings black boyfriend Chris, played by Daniel Kaluuya. Excuse me for saying it weird, but I'm pretty sure I said Kaluuya. Kaluuya. Shut up! Anywho, back home, me and the parents, Dean and Missy Armitage, played by Brad. Wait a minute. He looks familiar.
Eric? You're gonna give the company to Eric? He is a bad, bad man.
Sorry, I'm a Billy Madison freak. And also Catherine Keener, for the first time. They look weird. The house is very isolated. The basement is off limits due to black mold problems. And the only black people are a caretaker whose robotic behavior doesn't seem to be noticed by anyone except for Chris. It's clearly off, but it is really racial awkwardness and something more sinister. This being a horror film with some comedy elements of a very black comedy, actions are very likely correct. The hints and the strange events keep piling up. Dean is a brain surgeon and Missy is a psychiatrist whose expertise is hypnosis. But we don't exactly find out what's going on until very late in the proceedings, and the guessing game and ultimate answer are part of this film. I mentioned the Stepford Wives earlier because the film was actually more in common with Rosemary's Baby. Not coincidentally, another in Era 11's adaptation. Without going into spoiler territory, Chris's situation has with his relationship with Rose's parents are clearly inspired by Rosemary's predicament and relationship with her new neighbors Roman and Minnie Castavit, who also appear in the carrying and don't turn out to have a very sinister agenda. Those who are familiar with Roman Polanski's masterpiece will notice how an entire scene in Get Out, particularly a lot of the oddball guests, almost all of whom are white and older than Chris, paid direct homage to the earlier film. But whereas Rosemary's sense of alienation came from being first-time expectant mother, in itself is this concerning experience. Chris's predicament has actually added a layer of racial conflict bubbling under the surface. He's the only black person in the entire place, save for the domestic help, although everyone is nice and courteous. I have really good grammar, apparently, says my manager. He has no idea I'm doing it in his office. Shh. Where was I? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get fired. I doubt that. I'm not gonna get fired. He and the audience can't help but feel all the phony facade behind the very something unsettling that's going on. Chris's suspicions are fueled by occasional phone conversations with his friend Rod, played by Little Ray Howery, a TSA agent who is house sitting for Chris's back in New York. Rod knows something's up and keeps telling Chris to get out. Well, because he's afraid of Armitage's and turns him into a sex slave, and Chris is too polite, maybe too intimidated of outside, being the whole racial aspect. Get Out's narrative is straightforward enough once you figure out where the story is going, but getting to where it begins, nothing but all the fun. The cast is uniformly fantastic. Like many actors turned directors, Jordan Peele gets great. Nuisance performances by everyone, especially lead Daniel Kaluuya in many star-making turn. I said Kaluuya, not the... In this day and age, it is safe to say the feature film is actually a black lead being victimized by a group of white folks who have been very incendiary, but the fact that Jordan Peele is black adds an extra layer of credibility to the film helps deflect accusations of being exploitive. Rather than being brash and confidential, the film is surprisingly apolitical and does not hit a viewer on the head with a blunt racial allegations and heavy-handed creatures. Rose's parents are not stereotypical racist old white folks. They are affluent, liberal intellectuals who, in her dad's own words, who would have voted for Obama a third time if they could have had. And apparently that's what he said. I would have voted for Obama a third time. Racist? For most of the film, there is courtesy and hospitality towards Chris who feel unforced and genuine and a bit stilted, which makes what happens in the third act a lot more believable and creepy. The twist, if you call it, is effective because it's completely logical in the context of the film. The villains of the story have a very good twisted reason for their behavior, and are very civilized and professional about it. Out is the best known socially conscious horror film. Like Dawn of the Dead's anti-communism and Texas Chainsaw Massacre pro-vegetarian stance, you don't need notice underline the message to enjoy the film. But there's a plain sight and surprisingly very effective film indeed. The way I actually do my movie, I always measure it by what, people? Oh wait, that's right, I forgot I'm alone. I keep forgetting. I measure it by 7 heads. I give this movie 8 out of 10 7 heads. Why? Because it was something different. It was original, it was not a ripoff, and it was something very, very clever. And I suggest y'all to watch it. I'm pretty sure right now it's going to be coming out on DVD or in dollar movie theaters at the moment. But when I saw this movie, I was blown away, and I was very, very, very pleased with Jordan Peele's work. So keep up the good work, Jordan Peele. I loved you and Key and Peele. I love you and Keanu. It's a cute cat. Forgive me. It's a very cute cat. But that is my review, guys. And like I always say, stay tuned to the darkness. I really appreciate your time. A new episode coming up. And also, we will be doing a new final countdown along with, I believe it's Remakes Pants and Pants. And, I forgot what else. But thank you for your time, guys, and I will see you soon. Stay tuned to the darkness, and we are out. Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't have a mouse to clickety-click.
Eric is pregnant. Congratulations, Dippy. Oh.
Ooh, feel those kicks. He's gonna be a soccer player.
Yes. Everybody